Hello, hi, I'm Dr. Gurung. I'm consultant psychiatrist. I listened to a lovely audiobook. The title of the audiobook was Rewire of Your Mind. This was written by Shapiro. I've also read this book before, but this was an opportunity for me to listen this book through audiobook. It was also an opportunity for me to refresh the things that which I've learned from this book. So this book in total is divided into six chapters. In the six chapters, the topics that they cover is number one, they cover on working of mind. Number two, it discusses about mindfulness. Third, it discusses about how to change your thought. Fourth, it talks about be kind to yourself. Number five, it talks about habits, how habit impacts and rewire our brain. And number six, it talks about how to find peace, purpose, and happiness in order to rewire your brain. Now, let me dive to the first chapter of this book. In the first chapter, it talks about working off the mind. In working of the mind, the interesting thing which I've learned is mind is made out of all the experience that we have, emotions, habits, and thinking pattern. It makes all how we think and how we behave. And working on the mind also creates the identity that we have in this world. Keep in mind, a wrong habit can also rewire your brain to have the wrong thought process in your mind. Keep in mind, our mind will be fixed if we have self limiting beliefs. Keep in mind, the beauty of the mind is it has got neuroplasticity. That means we can develop new neural path depending on how you practice and how you change your thought process. It's basically, if you give an example, it's like in the forest. If there's no any way, if you continuously walk in a certain path, the new path can be developed. So the same thing happens to our brain. The thing which I find it interesting is, from an evolution point of view, our brain was, our brain or mind was developed in a survival mode to identify danger, death, problem, and risk. And the same kind of things remain in the modern world, but those threats are replaced by criticism, mistakes, as well as viewing ourselves in the environment. So the threats have changed, and this also impacts the way we think. So in order to deal with it, awareness is very important. For awareness, we need to analyze the thought and keep in mind, thought is not a reality. It depends on how we react to it. So that is the reason why it's very important for us to be aware of mindfulness. So this is the first chapter. They talk about working of the brain. Now let us go to the second chapter, which is called as mindfulness. Mindfulness, it means training our brain. It also means switching off our brain, and mindfulness helps us to control our heart rate, breathing, and it also helps our thought to slow down, so the negative thought loses its power. For mindfulness, awareness is very important. We also need to analyze the future thought pull us away, and the past thought push us away. So mindfulness is being aware of the present. Um, the mindfulness also helps us to separate ourselves from relationship. It also helps us to reflect. It helps us to be more focused, have a balanced emotions, as well as it also helps us to think about the problem. Mindfulness doesn't mean the problem go away, but it gives us a break to think how we can deal with the problem. Having mindfulness, it provides emotional freedom. And in order to practice this mindfulness, it needs to be consistent. We cannot be, we practice mindfulness now and don't practice in few days. So the interesting thing which I've learned is how you do anything is how you do everything. So the mindfulness needs to be the part of our life. So this is the second chapter. In the third chapter, it discusses about changing your thought. Now mindfulness means awareness. Now in third thing, we need to see how we can change our thought. Keep in mind, with every action, there's a short period of time which is called as reaction. This is beautifully explained in the book of logotherapy. So a lot of the people, it's very easy to have automatic thoughts. They think that, this is the final self-limiting belief. And in the reaction bit, rather than reacting directly, if we give us an opportunity, the way we think also affect the way we see the world. So instead of reacting straight away, sometimes it's good to give a break and to see what I can learn from it. Take everything as a feedback. If you have a bit of patience, it also helps you to react things differently. Keep in mind that we also have a different childhood, so the way we are programmed in our childhood might also impact the way we think ourselves. So in order to deal with this, what I would advise people is, for the next 7 days, please, if any of these thoughts come, number one question you need to ask whether it's a fact or is it just a thought that I have. Take a deep breath, so it helps you to pause and change your thought process. Keep in mind, the negative thoughts cannot be deleted altogether. You need to have a balanced way of thinking. Some of the balanced way of thinking I can recommend is, you need to think in the opposite way. What I can learn from it. This is alternate rewiring. And also, you need to talk to yourself as you talk to your best friend. Please don't punish yourself and celebrate the small progresses. So these are some of the way you can change your thought process. So this is the third chapter. Now the fourth is be kind to yourself. We as a human being, we spend 24 hours with ourselves. The time we open our eyes to the time we sleep, close our eyes, we spend the maximum time. So when mistakes do happen, we are not perfect. So the first thing we need to do is we need to have compassion for ourselves. We need to be aware of our own thought pattern. Um, be You need to love yourself, okay? And keep in mind, one mistake or one wrong doesn't define your identity. If you think that way, you will have a lot of stress, anxiety, and you will put yourself in the pressure. So that will hijack your nervous system. In order to deal with it, there are a couple of things that I would recommend. Accept your fall, learn, recover, and keep in mind, all the mistakes or all the difficulties or the challenges you have is an opportunity for you to build your resilience. So the way that I have been practicing currently is take a deep breath, talk to yourself. We are human beings, we do make mistakes. What I can learn from it, and say I will support myself and no matter what happens. If you're able to practice this, you're able to build up the seed for confidence. It will make you stronger and it won't break you. So the number fourth is be kind to yourself. Now number five, how to build a habit. Keep in mind that every every reactions that you have, we need to keep in mind that no matter how good you are, sometimes the strong kind of reaction can revert back, or strong trigger can revert back to your old habits. So the number one is you need to be aware of that. Awareness with discipline. It also depends on reaction you talk to others, your sleep rituals, and all of this impact. Keep in mind, a lot of people have a lot of knowledge that this is wrong, but just having knowledge without action is useless. It doesn't provide direction. In habit, there's a signal, action, and reward. So if you can just replace the action properly, you can change the whole system. Some of the things that I would recommend in habit is, rather than focusing on big goal, please break the big goal into small um, actions where there won't be much of a resistance. Rather than doing a multitasking, please focus on one task at a time. So this will help you to build the habit. Now, the last section is, no matter however you practice or rewire your brain, you need to be aware of what's the purpose of doing all of this. A lot of people, they seek external validation and happiness in future. So you need to be aware why you are doing all of this. So investing in your mind, you'll be able to make better decision, better relationship, better body, and better future. And it also provides freedom. Now let me recap the 6 things from this book's working. It describes about working of the mind, mindfulness, changing the thought, be kind to yourself, habit, and aware of the peace and a purpose why you are doing all of these things. So keep in mind, brain is a thing which creates our identity and future. So please do invest on your brain. Thank you.